Yo, 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 what's going on? What's going on? Happy Wednesday night. Welcome to Empire Jeff TV. I am your host, Empire Jeff, coming to you on Hump Day. And going to do a part two of the video I did on Monday. I'm a little surprised that a lot of people that really didn't catch on to this topic until today. Like, I thought the news was pretty big on Monday. Maybe I was just a little early. Um, but I was kind of excited about it on Monday, and a lot of it wasn't really popping off anywhere until today. They voted on it and became kind of official. Then everyone kind of ran wild today, but we knew Monday it would be official today. So, like I said, I was a little surprised people didn't run with it, but we here now, and at that point, it gives me a chance to do a second video on it and take any questions. We can discuss this together and go over it. So, I'm trying to stay consistent here and go live as many days during the week as I possibly can right now. So thank y'all for pulling up. I appreciate y'all. And let's see what we got here. We got Big Baby Sports in the building. Salute to you, my guy. Thank you for pulling up. Appreciate you as always. Vincent, thank you for pulling up as well. Salute to you as well. Appreciate you joining us on a Wednesday here. Search and destroy. Yes, yes. Get those likes up. Listen to the best moderator in the game. Salute to you, my guy. And let's go Trey all day. Salute to you. Yeah, that fire track. I love that track. I was trying to pick between like 5 different beats for these intros, and I was thinking about doing a different one maybe for each episode, or just cycle them through. And this one I just never wanted to change it once I used it. And I'm probably never gonna change it. I'm probably gonna keep it the same. That's my joint right there. I love it. And it's gonna be around for a while. Appreciate that. Yeah, thank you, Serge. Appreciate you. Let's see. Blue Magic, what's going on? Salute to Lakers Fast Break chat. Salute to the Laker Fast Break channel and to the Laker Fast Break guys. They're going live today at 9 p.m. as well. I'm going to try to pop in there depending on how long this stream goes. But yeah, make sure you go check those guys out. They're incredible. They're going to have a good show tonight too. Vince the Dude, what's up with you? Thank you for pulling up. Salute. Thank you for the support. Appreciate you. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this. For anyone who didn't really notice the news that leaked on Monday when they kind of announced this, and then on Wednesday, today it became official. So they're calling it the player participation rule, which is interesting. There's still a lot of loopholes in this rule. We'll go over that. They've got some things that that teams and players and executives might still be able to extort. And we're gonna dive into that. Let's see here. Chow Lee, hello to you too. Thank you for joining. Appreciate you so much. Oh, they're at 10 p.m. Okay, cool. For some reason, I don't know why I thought 9 p.m., but 10 p.m. Cool. Good to know. Thank you, Serge. So I think teams are gonna find a way to do this and get around it like they kind of do with everything else. So teams like the Clippers, the Suns, the Warriors, they don't seem to be scared off by any of this stuff. They thought that the second apron was going to scare these guys away, and they just kind of doubled down. And soon they announced the second apron, the Suns go trade for Bradley Beal, and they're just going to run through it. They're like, this is probably our only chance to really do it in this portion, and we can trade people to get off these contracts if we have to, but let's just make a run at it. So if you have to sit here and think of potentially wearing down someone like Kevin Durant, who already has torn Achilles in his past, or just you can throw like the first fine is $100,000, the second fine is $250,000, and then they add $1 million on per each violation after that. So the Suns could technically, do that with Kevin Durant twice, and then the third time, and you're looking at the money there, but what's the cost if you lose Durant, right? So I think some of these people and some of these teams are going to look at it like, we may just have to pay this because the health and the availability of our superstars come playoff time are more important than this fine. So now there are some teams that don't have the ability to pay that. So that will be interesting indeed. So the teams that can't afford to pay it and got to stick with it, and you got teams who only have one star. So this thing is theoretically, the fundamentals of this is teams who have 2 stars, not sitting them both in the same game. So that's the interesting part. So if you're a team that has 1 star, that's kind of how it boils down to. So outside of that, and there are some kind of like Braun rules built into this, the Braun, KD, Steph Curry, Mike Conley, some of the other names, DeMar DeRozan, James Harden, might be missing one or two guys. The guys that are over 35 years of age at the start of the season, 34,000 basically career minutes, or a combined 1,000 playoff and regular season minutes. So there's not a long list of guys who are exempt from this, but they are like a lot of the champion winners of the past. So we're gonna have to see like how this plays out, but we will soon actually. So it's going to come to fruition. Bloodhound, salute to you. Thank you for pulling up. Appreciate it. Teams will exploit loopholes as always. Exactly. And they will. And to be honest with you, I think the league knew that. And I think that's why you're not hearing the players union. I don't think at least I haven't seen a single player complain about it. I don't know if you guys have, but I haven't really seen anybody out there bashing it. So I believe that the players knew about this already. The unions knew about this. The agents knew about this already, because it lines up with the same type of like qualifications for the 65 game rule. And I think the NBA and the players are on the same page here, because in reality, what this really is the TV networks, talking trash, basically saying like, we don't want to pay you max dollar when you're not putting your best product out there. So until you do, we're not going to come with our best offer. We need some type of corrective action here. What are you going to do? So the league goes ahead with this. And I think it might be enough to please the TV networks, which means more money for everybody, including the players. So that's why I think you're not seeing the players really throw too much of a fit about this, to be honest with you. They had 10 Mountain. Oops, forgot something. Oh, okay. So it is now. Okay, you had me confused there. Let's see. Idaho. Oh, got you. You in Idaho. Got you. Go, James. What's up to you? Salute to you, my brother, as well. Thank you for pulling up. Thank you for your continued support. You are appreciated. Speaking of you are appreciated, man, it's been 27 years today since we lost the late, great Tupac Shakur, man. And being out here in LA, this is a big deal. It's a really, really big deal. So rest in peace to Pac, man, an absolute legend. I know this is a basketball channel, but that man is a cultural icon, so much more than a rapper. Such an incredible just creator, entertainer, poet, actor. So many things he gave to the culture. So shout out to him. He's just incredible. I could talk about him all day. So salute to Pac, man. Rest in peace to him and his mother, Afeni. And you know what I mean? Sucks, man. Man, I remember that day like it was yesterday. But salute to you there, Jonathan Neely. Appreciate you pulling up. Thank you for the continued support. You all appreciate it. Stick Stepper. Jeff, triple salute. I got it. Triple salute to you as well. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for pulling up. Dante. Play that 5 straight cash if needed. Pay that fine. Yeah, I agree with you, Dante. That's probably what it's going to be for some of these teams. Let me get through some of these. Yeah, welcome to everyone that's coming in. Ballmer paying that for Kawhi. Yeah, I can definitely see Ballmer definitely probably putting in a budget saying, okay, here we are. We've got $10 to $15 million to use this year on this rule, and that's it, or whatever it is. I can see him putting forth a budget for it, because that's just the type of planner he is. And keep in mind, like the teams like the Warriors, teams like the Suns, and teams like the Clippers, their luxury tax bills are so crazy. Or the Bucks, like these guys got crazy, and Miami, like these teams got crazy luxury tax bills. So to them, what's another 5, 7, 10 million to keep your stars happy come playoff time? So I think the league is happy with that, because if they end up missing out on any type of money, then at least they make it back off the fines. And at the end of the day, it's all about dollars and cents. If it don't make dollars, and it don't make sense, so they're going to sit here and try to recoup that money any which way, shape, or form. So this is all a dollar play from the networks, from the league to the players. Everyone involved got their hands in someone's pocket, and they just trying to, just make money. That's what they're all doing. So, but at the end of the day, they can't slip this by me. I know what they're doing. Like, this is all just trying to ease the networks and try to make the fans feel that the league is doing something. So keep buying your tickets, keep paying these outrageous prices for these tickets, because we're quote unquote doing something about it. And we'll see if they really do. You know what I mean? It could end up being a slap on the wrist. We don't know. The locker room stream was epic. It sure was, Cuba. That was your fault, too. It's always Cuba's fault, man. That was your fault. But, yeah, it was absolutely epic, man. That Greek dude that pulled up, oh, my God. Shout out to Reg, man. I don't know what Reg does. I don't know what it is about him. I don't know what it is. The people that pull up to that show, it's quite entertaining. It's amazing. I don't know, man. It's basketball mixed with a whole lot of other stuff. And that I'm not going to say it, but that story he told, oh my gosh. Shout out to Reggie, man. For Locker Room LA. Check them out, man. Reggie's incredible. How would the league determine if an injury is real or not, assess the fine? So that's a good question there, Vince, to do. Shout out to you for pulling it up again. Appreciate you. So what they do is they have an independent medical team and medical examiner who will be looking at these medical reports and determine if teams are are messing around or not. And that's serious for a couple of reasons. One, they can overrule the team, and two, these team doctors now have to be really careful because they're doctors, and if they're out there falsifying medical reports, they could lose their license technically. So they got to be careful now. And the league is just applying pressure on these teams. So if they say a player is hurt, they're like, all right, prove it, submit it. And then the league's independent medical examiner and medical team will take a look at it and give a second opinion. Obviously, the league isn't trying to get out there and have a bunch of guys out there play if they're hurt, right? But they also don't want the league, they don't want Kawhi halfway through a game saying, oh, I'm done for the game, I'm going. Like, just decide, not even telling his teammates, not telling the team, not telling his coaches. He just went in the locker room, changed, and came inside on the bench for the second half and told no one. When they saw him in street clothes, they're like, what is going on? So we're going to see how that goes. But that independent medical team, I think, is going to be key, and we'll see how they do that. Okay, let's see. Yes. Rest in peace to Pac for sure. Eric Kwan, what's up, my guy? Thank you for pulling up. Thank you for the support. Appreciate you as always. The flippers are definitely going to find a way to cheat the new rule on load management. Yeah, they definitely are. At the end of the day, though, to be fair, I know that their pictures blasted all over this rule. But to be honest with you, like, Kawhi and PG were hurt. Like, they are hurt. The problem is they're injury prone. So the resting one, that does happen, right? They're not always just hurt, but they're not missing playoff games because they're resting. They're hurt. So they're just not very durable. Their knees are brittle, and they can't make it through a season or even a playoff series. It's just 10 times out of 10, this just continues to happen. So it sucks. And we'll see what this rule does. Chris, graphic guy, salute, my brother. Appreciate you pulling up as always. That's my guy right there. That's a member of the team. Salute to you, brother. They will. Okay. Exactly. It's all about the revenue for the NBA. Watch these fines. Yeah, it's going to be a revenue. That's what it is. This league is trying to make up for money. They've got a lot of things going. The league's got to figure some of this stuff out because as tickets continue to rise, who knows before streaming, permanently takes over. You got people pirating out there on the internet and just looking at all these overseas sites to stream games. So the league is just trying to figure out ways to keep these TV providers interested as long as possible. Can a star player play 10 minutes just to comply with the rule, or is a minimum minutes play? That's a good question, Vincent. Right as of now, there is no minute restriction. But as my guy Young Africa points out, some of these guys don't really want to mess with their averages like that. If they go in and play 10 minutes, get 5 points, and they're a 30-point a game scorer, some of these guys don't want to do that. So it's kind of pick your poison there and trying to figure out what you want to do, because they've got a tough decision to make, kind of balance those out. TV ratings have been falling for the regular season. Silver adding the NBA Cup, fines for load management to help stem the loss. Exactly. And also fell in the finals, right? You had two regular teams, not like storied franchises. You had the Miami Heat, the Denver Nuggets. A lot of people did not watch those NBA finals. So this in-season tournament, along with these rules, are a money grab for the league to grab money during the regular season to make up stuff for potential losses in case you get teams in the playoffs and finals that the average casual fan who, wouldn't care to watch. So I think it's a smart play when you think about it. Yeah, man. I don't even think it's up no more. That's a part about it. If y'all didn't catch it, you probably can't catch it no more, because he definitely had to put that to private after the fact, because that was wild. Shout out Reg, man. Man, super wild. That was crazy. Lakers of 5, what up, what up? Salute to you, my guy. Make sure to check out Lakers of 5. Subscribe if you have not already. Most of you most likely already have. Phenomenal show over there. Phenomenal dude. Make sure to check out Lakers of 5. DJ from Lakers of 5 over there. Gotcha. Who's the Lakers team doctor? Can we get Gary Vitti back? You know what? I don't know who that is right now, to be honest with you. And Gary Vitti, he wasn't the team doctor. He was the team trainer. So I don't know who the team doctor is right now. That's a good question, but I don't know that off the top of my head, to be honest. TV rights holders are under pressure from cable cutters. Local right holders bankrupts. Streamers won't be able to offer as much for the traditional channels will. And that's a fact. For instance, the NFL. I don't know how many of you guys got NFL Sunday Ticket, but if you got NFL Sunday Ticket, oh my God, it was a fail the first week. Like, you couldn't change games. Like, you couldn't watch a multi-view. Like, it was crazy. Like, so for instance, if you're watching it on your TV, which I went to a family member's house and I just had it on used the YouTube app and just streamed it to the TV so we could watch it at his house. But at the end of the day, you can't change channels. Like you had to disconnect from the TV, go to another game, load it on your phone, and then restream it to the TV to get it to work. It was a hot mess. So these places got to get these streaming things fixed because that was a damn fail for sure. And the NBA app is pretty good. But the NFL going to YouTube TV, that was just a hot mess out the gate. And hopefully they get that right. And hopefully YouTube don't punish me for saying that. Salute my brother Dre Jones. Thank you for pulling up. Always the continued support. Always love chopping it up with you on other panels. So thank you so much for pulling up. Hit the like button and sub if you're not subscribed. Thank you so much for that. Yes, please hit that like and subscribe to your boy, man. I'm trying to get this channel popping and growing. I see a lot of people pull up, check out. I see a lot of people watch and haven't subscribed yet. So come on, salute to your boy, man. Myself in the chat, like we're trying to put in this work here. So you're here anyways. Give your boy a sub, man. Come on, sub up. It's the graphic god Chris. That is the absolute graphic god. Salute to Chris. Vincent Dude says, I think the salary should be prorated unless the injury happens on court. They need to earn that paycheck. Yeah, the union will never agree to that. The players will never agree to that. That's never going to happen. It's a good idea, but just unrealistic. They'll never play the game if that's the case. Also, gambling has gotten very popular and lucrative. NBA doesn't want angry gamblers when players decide to load manage. That is another major part. And that's probably where a lot of the revenue is going to kind of help and peak in after these TV deals start to waver. And if they figure out something with ticket prices, the more and more states that legalize gambling and can have in-arena gambling at some point, like with some of these services, like it's going to be crazy. And that's where the real money grab is going to be in the long run. But we're a ways away from that yet. We're not there yet, but it is coming. Definitely. Miss NGB. Thank you for pulling up. Appreciate you as always. This is Empire TV's own NGB, our in-chat capologist and fact checker here. Salute to you, Angie. Thank you for pulling up and for the support as always. Big baby. What's up with you? What's good, man? Thank you for the support. Appreciate you as always. Yeah, I think that caller really got to Reg last night because he put that live on private. No, it wasn't that it got to him. It was just there was a lot of stuff set on that stream that would have just marked the on his back end part of YouTube, but the mark it as yellow would have been like a flag. So it could have caused damage to his channel. So although it was entertaining as hell, we're never going to see it again. And I don't blame him. I would have done the same thing, but we got to catch that. Look, it was funny, but it was disgusting at the same time. That dude, like it was entertaining at the time, but when you really think about it, that guy was just a miserable human being and said some stuff that I definitely wouldn't condone. But Reg, a true professional, show must go on. He carried on, and yeah, but that show was crazy, man. Let's see. NFL is king. Yeah, NFL is king, but they got some issues, man. They definitely got some issues for sure. Feel bad for the Jets. Yeah, I definitely feel bad for the Jets too. That sucks. I mean, and they almost blew that game. Buffalo banks in a field goal. Then they come back and win it on a punt return on 9-11. Shout out to them. But then Aaron Rodgers just goes out, tears the Achilles in his first game as a New York Jet. Bang. Sucks. Never want to see that. Even if it's a player, I don't really dislike or hate anybody, but I don't pull for that on nobody, man. That's just some guys just don't come back from that. Look at the top 30 show ratings in a given year. Most of them are all NFL games. Yeah, NFL. This country's number one sport is NFL. There's no doubt about it, but they definitely got to figure out that Sunday ticket. That's for sure. My Raiders winning it all this year. Whoa. I mean, I'm not here to bash anyone's team unless you're a Cowboy fan, because I'm a Giants fan and we just got waxed by 40. But outside of that, yeah, the Raiders look good on Sunday. I'm gonna leave it at that, and we'll see what goes from there. Obviously, being in Southern California, there's a massive and ton amount of Raider fans out here. They think that it's LA's team. It's not, but they think it is, and hey, they're free to think that. Always here to support the great one, Empire Jeff TV. Thank you so much. And if I'm great, it's because you're part of the greatness, Chris, the graphic guide contributing to me and inspiring videos. Thank you, my brother. Always will appreciate you. Hold on, I just had something jumping here. How do you feel about the 3-year All-Star rule? Well, I mean, it's kind of in line with the 65-game rule for qualifying for Supermax contracts and awards, right? So I don't hate it. I mean, I guess it's balanced. So AD just barely got it because he was an All-Star in 2021, so he meets the criteria. What I do think is interesting is a team like the Spurs, who created load management. who created load management. The Spurs created load management, and they're not even going to be held to this standard because Wemby has not been a former All-Star. He doesn't have any of those accolades. So there's no star on that team. So the Spurs can theoretically load manage, and Wemby is not held accountable to this standard. So I find it kind of funny that the team who created all of this is not initially going to be part of the rule out the gate, which is, like I said, I find that to be pretty interesting there. I think the Jets are still going to have a solid year because their defense is hella tough. Their defense is hella tough, but you lose a Hall of Fame quarterback on game one, and you got that division is all over the place. So that's going to be tough to come back from for sure. Absolutely, for sure. They should add the fine to the luxury tax threshold, making it even more punitive. Now there you go. See, wow, that's a hold on, let me get. Shout out to Bloodhound. That is an absolute excellent point because then that fine continues to just go up and up and up. However, there's a lot of teams who have stars who are not in the luxury tax and they would be able to escape it. So there'd have to be something worked into there. So like, for instance, the Lakers are not in the tax. They're not. But now if this fine would take them into the tax or something like that. But for teams that aren't in the tax, that wouldn't benefit. That wouldn't hurt them. But I love what you're thinking about. I think I would probably make it kind of like a hybrid rule that if you're a second apron team, then the fine goes into the taxes. I think so. I think that's where I would do it and continue to punish those punks for just trying to just outspend everyone else. If you have to give up one NBA team for Jesus to come back and save the world, which team would it be and why? The Clippers? Dang. Now it's just giving up the team and their history, or is it just giving up the team? Because it's giving up the team and their history. I'm giving up the Boston Celtics because that means the Lakers reign supreme in everything. But if it's just keeping records and giving up whoever is on the planet right now, then yeah, most likely the Clippers got to go. Get them out of here. Flush them down all those brand new toilets that they're just building out there in Inglewood. Let's see. Josh Allen is overrated. That's the narrative going around right now. I don't know, man. I don't know if he's overrated, but that dude can play. He could still. That Kansas City Buffalo game from the playoffs 2 seasons ago was still one of the most epic NFL playoff games I've ever seen in my life. Incredible. What do you think about LeBron saying he wants to play for Team USA next year? Well, I mean, he's going to be 39 years old. I'm hoping the Lakers are coming off a championship, so it'll be a deep playoff run plus Olympics, and then back, for another season perhaps. So I don't know. I don't hate it. If he wants to go represent his country, if his minutes are kept down and he's in kind of like a leadership role, and then he just got there recruiting the guys. I'll go if you go, but not play a ton. I think I'd be for that. But I've also said that I think we're going to see 39-year-old LeBron looking younger than 38-year-old LeBron this year. The team is deep. They've got depth, and I think that there's multiple playmakers on this team. So I think that I think he may be able to conserve some energy this year. So we'll see if that translates to a Team USA visit. No, I got you. AJF, the Lakers are a tax team. They're just under the first apron. If they are, really? I thought they weren't a tax team. Let me check that real quick. Because what I saw is they were over the first apron, but under the tax. I'm not saying you're wrong, but that's what I saw last. So let me pull this up right quick. So let's see. Luxury tax threshold. 165, 294. Oh, yeah, they are. You know what it was? It was a Christian. I didn't. You're right. They were under the tax prior to signing Christian Wood, and I didn't double check it back after that. So you are absolutely right. They are now in the tax, but they are under the hard cap still. Thank you, Angie. Sorry about that. As a couple of days ago, they still were, but when they signed Christian, it took them over. So thank you for the clarification. I apologize about that. So that's why Angie's in the chat. Empire Jeff TV's own Angie B. Thank you. Allen has 43 turnovers in the last 20 games. No, I hear you. I definitely hear you. But I'm telling you, it's still kind of exciting to watch and see. And I don't know if he's overrated, but definitely he's got to work on those picks for sure. I like that. Yeah. Lakers and 4 would be great if they, they when they start 10-2, get this chip, they sweep people. Yeah, we're gonna start a petition to get that happening there. Um, so yeah, I'm just really interested to see like how the teams navigate this. I'm interested to see like I'm sure the coaches want their players to play, and these teams want their players to play. They just don't want these guys out there jeopardizing their postseason run and the things that could come along with that. So for them, I understand kind of why they're doing it. But I'm just this the cynical person in me wants to see if this really plays out the way they're kind of doing this, or if this is all just smoke and mirrors for the TV networks. What's your take on the LeBron DEA investigation in 2003? He was cleared from any wrongdoing of PED use. I mean, to be honest, like my take on it is we knew this information was out there already. It's just they waited when to kind of put it out there. And I think there was back channeling stuff being put out there after what was said earlier in the year about the people knowing who his drug guy is and all that. And let's see if these YouTubers who are running around crazy just looking for anything to bash LeBron and tear him down, if they're running with this, with the same type of energy as they were when someone was openly trying to accuse him of doing it, they're going to try to flip it and say, oh, but there was an investigation and there's a cover up. No, man. The DEA proved that he didn't do any wrongdoing. It's not. There are people linked to him. There's people linked to everybody. I got people linked to me to do all kinds of crazy, stupid, retarded stuff. That doesn't indict me. Doesn't make me guilty. You're guilty by association for knowing someone that does something stupid. But outside of that, you didn't do it. You didn't break any laws. You didn't break any rules. You didn't do anything. So if you're going to start being charged, this ain't a RICO case. If you're going to start being, the public perception of you is going to change when you've been found innocent, no, that's crazy. Some of these channels, they got to do a better job of coming up with better content that's relevant and not just be out here with clickbait and just a bunch of grown men out there hating on another man, just running their mouths nonstop, acting like schoolgirls. They need to chill with that. No one. I don't know. I understand how people want to watch that or listen to that. It's just crazy. It's nuts. Yeah, welcome. Angie B always correct. Yeah, she absolutely is. You know what's funny is I would have lost a bet on that. I'm not gonna lie. I definitely would have lost a bet on that because the last time I looked, damn, your boy forgot to check after the Christian Wood thing. Stay up. What's up? Thank you for pulling up. Thank you for the support. Appreciate you as always. Do you think there might be any unforeseen consequences of the new rules? Maybe there's always some unforeseen consequences. Like I can foresee the league applying pressure to a team to make a player play, and then that player tear his knee or an Achilles or something, and then there'd be some some backlash to that. I can definitely see something like that happen, but I just don't know how you prove that. You know what I mean? So, but again, like just with the LeBron stuff, do you have to prove anything anymore, or it just gets out there and hits viral news cycle, and that's just what it is, whether it's true or not? Jordan was suspended a year for gambling, the most protected player ever. You're correct again, Bloodhound. A lot of people think he took a sabbatical and left on his own. That is not the case. It is not the case at all. That dude was forced out for a year, and that's a fact. So shout out to you for bringing that up. A lot of people, A, don't believe it, or B, have never heard of that, but it's the truth, an absolute truth that happened. It's crazy to think our first preseason game is October 7th against Folding State. Yeah, it's getting closer and closer. I believe media day is October 2nd. Training camp is October 3rd. We're getting closer and closer. So I'm going to keep ramping up these videos, keep bringing out more content. We're going to talk basketball all season long. I'm going to try to do some pregame, postgame from crypto, maybe some halftime reports, depending if I'm inside the game or not. I'm going to try to really expand this channel this year. I'm going to look to add, some people to the channel to get some help on the channel. So, if the sky's the limit as far as what I'm willing to do, if I've got the commitment from the community and from the subscribers, right? So I'm not talking like monetization or anything like that. I'm just like the numbers. If if the subscribers continue to grow, the watch hours stay up, people like what I'm doing on the channel, and I see that they want me to continue, then I'm gonna continue to push it further and stretch it out farther. So it all depends, man. Like I said, numbers are important. Yeah. Thanks, Chris, and thank you, Angie, again. Man, I would have been out here in these YouTube streets for like 2 weeks before I looked at that again. So I have no reason to look at it again. So I would have been wrong for like a good 2 weeks. So thank you with that. Jordan had that white powder, but Braun can't have some PEDs. Double standard, man. Yeah. Hey, Outer, thank you for pulling up. Appreciate the support. Thank you very much. And that's true. Like people pick and choose, man. And like I said, I think people are upset that they just don't have any dirt on Braun. They can't find nothing. He hasn't done anything. The only thing they could really punish Braun for is switching teams. Like that's the only thing they got on him is the decision. or they say he stacks the team, he stacks the deck. Well, I mean, I understand why he stacked the deck in 2010 because Boston stacked the deck and he wasn't going to get a chip that way. He had to counter their move, and then KD countered Braun moves. So Braun is the only person to do this. He wasn't the first. He's not the last. So KD has done this more times. So at the end of the day, the people are slamming Braun for this when KD has done it more times and Boston did it first. And Braun is getting blamed because he reacted to it and just did it better. So it's just crazy. Knowledge, what's up? What's up? What's up? Thank you for pulling up, my guy. Appreciate you as always. Jeff got plenty of guys moving packs, but they don't mean he's supplying them. Yeah. Hey, whoa. You talk about packs of gum. Yeah. Fresh breath everywhere. But you're right on that. Knowledge, no, the ledge. What's going on, Knowledge? And shout out to the Beat 139, man, and my man Kareem over there. He had one of the dudes that came up with Jay-Z early on today, and sorry over there, Knowledge. So it's always good to see familiar people in these streams. Shout out to my guy Kareem. Make sure you support to his the Beat 139. Got a lot of dope interviews over there, and it's a dope thing to check out. Let's see. True Tran, what's up with you? Thank you. Like a gang indeed. Thank you for pulling up. We appreciate you. And yes. Please like and subscribe, share, and hit that like button. Please. It goes a long way to help us. You don't ever got to spend $1 on this channel. I've never, you know what I mean? But if you can just share, spread the gospel of Empire Jeff TV, and it's gonna only help this thing grow. It'll make me invest more in the channel to get more content and better content. So appreciate y'all who was supported already, and to those who will do it in the future. Jordan got a dark side. Oh, we know this. We absolutely know this. So he's shown it on multiple occasions. Jordan is so lucky he didn't play in the social media area. That's another fact. Era. Yeah, that's another fact. That's the thing. Braun was really the first one who had to deal with the social media era. Kobe was a hybrid in it, but even at the end of his career, Twitter wasn't what it is today. You know what I mean? And these YouTube channels where everyone has an opinion wasn't the same as it is today. So I know people like to use Kobe to bash LeBron, and Kobe's my guy, and I would take Kobe over LeBron because that's just my guy. I got nothing against Braun. I got nothing against no one. I'm just, in my opinion, that's my guy. So, but people don't get it twisted. If YouTube was popping like this and Twitter was popping like this in 2006 or 2000, or in 2004 when Shaq left, like people were giving Kobe the riot act. They were bashing him left and right. People, and then later on, people wanted to come around and thought it was cool, like to jump back on the Kobe bandwagon. But we know what it is. Like I used to get into arguments and fights all the time with people over Kobe. So at the end of the day, when they're over here just trying to act like they was down the whole time, I was there. You were not. Booger Sugar kills. Facts. Stay away from the Booger Sugar. The DEA cleared Chris for all the Lakers memorabilia. My guy Chris really got a Lakers sports room. He absolutely does. And that's just one room, one angle that he's got everything. Shout out to Chris, man. That's a true Lakers supporter. He's got a ton of gems over there for real. Do you think these new NBA rules make teams consider making major moves to their rosters? Are you talking about the wrestling rules or the CBA rules? CBA rules, yes, absolutely. The wrestling rules, maybe. Someone brought up a point on my last stream when they said it may stop them from trading players who are out often or who like to rest. Maybe they don't trade for them. They don't want to deal with that nonsense or deal with those fines. So I could see some teams, like I said, it depends on the team. It depends on their strategy. It depends how they kind of do go about their business. There's some are like, we don't care, we'll pay. And there are others who watch every penny. So you're gonna see the preference from all these different teams and see how they do it. Stay Up says, who do you think might be getting fined the most under the new deal? Clippers, top seeds trying to get rest before the playoffs. That's a good question because I don't know how the teams are going to react. Like I said, I can see the Clippers, Suns, and Warriors being more inclined to pay the fines versus like the Lakers, and some of the other teams that don't have these multi-billionaire owners like they do. So like the Knicks probably wouldn't do it, don't want to put out money like that. But I could see a team like the Heat probably willing to pay, Milwaukee maybe willing to pay and to take care of Giannis in that knee. But there's some teams that just won't pay it. So I don't really know. But if I had to guess, I would probably say one of the Clippers, Suns, or Warriors. Yeah, definitely the Mamba is forever my GOAT. Rest in paradise. Yeah, man. He's missed every day. We're gonna get to see him going in after basketball. So we got robbed of that. We got robbed of Genie's basketball career. But at the end of the day, we got to be thankful we had him for 20 years and what he gave us, and just thank God this didn't happen while he was playing. And yeah, we're gonna miss him forever. That's why it's important to continue the Mamba, week and his birthday and that whole week around that. They grew bigger this year, and we need to do our job to make it bigger every single year. I think that's important, and I think we should continue to do that. Let's see here. Gotta check. Anybody out there, Angie, you checking the Dodger game? What's the score going on over there? I don't got it on right now. If anyone's out there got the Dodger game, let your boy know. I don't want to watch it while I'm doing the stream. Trying to avoid that, but you're God when your last game is 60 points. Yeah, you're a God when your last game is 60 points. You're a God when you scored 81. You're a God when you outscore an entire team through 3 quarters, 62-61. You're a God when you walk off the court after telling your Achilles after hitting back-to-back free throws. You're a God when you win an NBA championship with a broken finger on your shooting hand. My God. You can keep going forever. Forever. But let me... So the person that asked this question, I want to see what you guys say here. Stab asked the question here: which team do you think is getting fined the most under the new deal? Which team do you guys think in the chat? Let's contribute to this. What team do you guys think will be the one to pay the biggest fine this year? That's an interesting question. And let me check on the poll here that I got too. Pretty much, if you haven't contributed to the poll yet, it's saying if you like or dislike these rules. So it looks like majority of the people like the rule. I'm surprised we got some for don't like it. I'm curious to, if you are someone that didn't like it, if you're comfortable with sharing the fact that you voted that way, I'm curious to hear your reasoning behind it. Just to get a different opinion, a different perspective. I'm curious. Yeah, facts. Kobe is the closest thing to a superhero I ever had as well. Why isn't your 12-man roster to go to Paris if all stars are available and healthy? Are you saying who's? My 12-man roster. Man. I gotta think about it because honestly, I want to see how some of these guys play next year. I think Ant's gonna have a really good year. I think players like Anthony Edwards are gonna take a rise, and I think like some other guys will start to fade back a little bit. So Andy, I don't know yet. I'd probably feel more comfortable making this assessment around the All-Star break. But right now, like Bron, KD, Steph, like a lot of the ones you saw out there, Dame, Devin Booker, Jason Tatum. I wouldn't even mind a Jaylen Brown on there, Anthony Davis, Jimmy Butler, like a lot of these dudes that are on the normal lists out there. But again, I would really like to see come All-Star break and see who's take the leap this year. And yes, I don't really care if anyone has a problem with this. I would not mind Austin Reeves getting the final slot on this team because he fits in anywhere. And just to make the haters hate some more, put my guy on there. Put him on there. Clippers and Spurs. Well, search. The Spurs don't qualify for it. They have no stars. This is a star policy based against back-to-back games on national TV games and in-season tournament. And like I said, the Spurs, who are the people who essentially created load management, don't have anyone on their roster that qualifies to be punished for it. So that's an interesting one. Damn. 4-0 Padres. I saw the Soto home run. It was 1-0. But damn, thank God this team is not going to the playoffs because, man, they would be frightening in the playoffs. 3-game series? Good God. Gary Vitti knows it's real. Yep. Any team with Harden on it. Yeah, and well, he is 35 now, so he does have the excuse policy built in of being 35 years of age prior to the start of the season. So as long as they give prior notice, he can be excused, along with LeBron James, along with Steph Curry, along with Kevin Durant, along with DeMar DeRozan, Chris Paul, who is Mike Conley, and I think those are the only ones that qualify for it. But if you're 35 years and up prior to the start of the regular season, 35,000 or 34,000 minutes, career minutes, or 1,000 combined playoff and regular season minutes. And those are the only guys, to my knowledge, that meet that criteria. Probably some's new owner is throwing his weight around and has deep pockets, especially if they have a top seed. Yeah, he's just throwing money around. He just looked at that second apron and just ran through it. I wouldn't be surprised to see him look at this rule and just run through it. So I agree with you 100%. I could see that happening, and I could see him just saying, okay, whatever, I'll pay the fine. It's more important to keep my players healthy. Yep, same thing, Golden State. Absolutely. I don't think you want to score the Dodger games. I know they just gave it to me. Damn it. Uh, yeah, that was an emotional time, Chris, for all of us. Absolutely. The Spurs and Flippers on the vote for them. Okay, Clippers and Golden State. Yeah. So I think it's going to be a combination of Clippers, Golden States, or Suns. Those pockets are so deep that I just don't think they care. Uh, Hit Stick Stepper says, Empire, I think Christian Wood is going to be our sixth man because I have Hatch as the starter. Who do you think is the sixth man, fam? But I think it's going to be a combination of Wood and Rui. That's a good point. That's a good question because I think Rui has a chance to start, but I would prefer Vando starting. So for those who don't know, my or hadn't heard me mention this, my starting five would be D'Lo, Reeves, Vando, Braun, and AD. I just really love Vando's defense to start the game. And along with AD's defense, that was the best defensive lineup in the league to finish the season and start the playoffs. And I would really like to stick with that continuity. There's a chance they might start Rui. And if they do start Rui, then Christian Wood would most likely be absolutely the first big off the bench. But outside of that, I really would like to see Vando in the starting lineup because if he's not in the starting lineup, I just think his role gets minimized more, and I don't want to see that happen. So if you're over 35, you get a break. Yeah. So if you're over 35 years of age, you get the kind of the excuse or exemption rule. You can get punished and the team can get fined, but if you let them know in advance, you have an excuse as to why. But it has to be in advance. You can't make up. I don't know what the cutoff time is. I didn't see that going around, but I know that they said that if it's in advance, then you won't catch the fine for it. Older injury-prone stars are going to be more adversely affected with star players having to play more games. Warriors, Clippers, Sixers. Braun is going to have to play fewer minutes, and Lestat's will fall. Well, like I said, with that rule, with that 35 and up rule, LeBron meets all criteria: the age, the minutes, the playoff minutes, all that he meets. So as long as the Lakers are a pretty organized team when it comes to this stuff, as long as they let the league know in advance, I could see Braun missing a back-to-back. But AD does not qualify for that. So he's going to have to the Lakers could catch the fine for AD. Bringing Rui with Wood off the bench could be damn good, interesting. Yeah, it really could because they both can play two positions. Rui can play the 3-4, Woods can play the 4-5. So I really like that versatility off the bench. And you got Gabe. You've got Prince. You've got Max. You've got a lot of versatility on that bench, and I think it's more versatile if you have Vando starting. And again, that's just my opinion, and that's what I want to roll with. Jonathan, thank you, appreciate you. What do you think about Steve Kerr as a coach? I feel like he's average at best, benefiting from having the right players at the right time. I'm not as high on Steve Kerr as some, and I'm not as low as some. I'm kind of in the middle. I think that Steve Kerr learned from great coaches. I do believe that. So I do think he does know what he's doing, but he also has had some great players, and he hasn't taken that, he hasn't done a great job of molding young players. And a lot of the young players are pretty much getting ran out of there. So I think he's a good coach for a veteran team, but although we didn't, really like what we saw in FIBA, but I also don't think he's a great coach for young guys. So I don't think he sticks around long once these guys start to kind of dry up there. I don't see him as a guy that can lead a younger team. I think he's kind of like a Doc Rivers. You give him a veteran team, and that's all he's really going to want to do. I don't see him wanting to deal with younger players. Oh, appreciate you. Yeah, that's just me, but I don't coach the Lakers, and I have no part of the decision-making process. But if I was, when I was coaching, that's how I like my lineups to be. Give me really two defensive just juggernauts with Vando and AD, and that can overcome a lot of the, shortcomings of some of your lesser fortunate defensive players. KD, what up to you? Thank you for pulling up. Appreciate the support. Shout out to Mark Jackson. He started the Golden State Blueprint. Man, Dante, we're going to have to agree to disagree on that one. Like I said, I could do a whole episode on how the narrative on Mark Jackson is false, but I don't want to do an episode where I tear down a man. But just telling you right now, if you do your research, there is a lot of reasons to back up my point on this. And that's all I'm going to say. He burned too many bridges, and that's all I'm going to say. And I don't expect to see him back in the league in the coaching capacity ever again. Mark Jackson laid out the blueprint for him. He's not getting enough credit. Well, again, I think my take on that whole situation is I think that team just wasn't ready. And I think that when they kind of matured, Steve Kerr did make some changes to the lineup, and, putting Iggy to the bench, starting Draymond. So there were some things that Mark Jackson missed from a coaching standpoint that Steve Kerr came in and adjusted, and they took off. Also, they came into their own. So I will say this. I will say that Steve Kerr probably gets too much credit, and Mark Jackson gets too much credit. The credit of the players evolving at the time that they did is the true story about what happened with Golden State. Yeah, we have hella depth. It's going to be tough job for him to find the minutes and having a set rotation because we're really 12 deep. Yeah, I mean it's a good problem to have, but then it's a bad problem to have when you're a coach trying to sort out rotations and minutes. And that's the hardest thing to do when you become a head coach. Because when you're an assistant coach, you can be the good cop. You could be on the bench talking to guys who aren't getting minutes. You got to know it's his decision and yada, yada, yada. But when you're the guy making the decision, you can't have those same conversations. They're upset with you. So you can't play the good cop. You can just, all you got to do is tell them to, stay ready. When your number is called, be ready. You will get a chance. And, you go from there. But it's tough to do. I've coached some teams that were pretty deep with kids that I had for multiple years. And it's hard, really hard to tell someone you really care for and someone whose family, and people, and then people you just really got a genuine mutual respect for, that they're not going to play that day or maybe even that tournament. And it's really, really hard, but it comes with the territory. And the faster you embrace it and the faster you get comfortable with being uncomfortable with that, the better coach you will be. At the end of the, you can be these guys' friends, but you have to manage the team. The team comes before everything else. And you got to draw the line on that. And you got to make the right decision for what's best for the team. Even if some of the people you really like and care about get upset, the best thing you can hope for is they respect you and they trust your judgment and they stay ready. That's all you can really do. But the second you start worrying about that and managing the team based off their emotions versus what's best to the team, then you start sacrificing your ability as a coach, and the rest of the team will see that. KD says, Jeff, when is media day? Everything I've heard is October 2nd with training camp starting October 3rd. It's not been publicly announced, but some people behind the scenes have told me that, and I have no reason to not think they're telling the truth unless it gets moved. But from what I'm hearing, October 2nd is media day, October 3rd training camp. But that could change if it changes. I don't know. This is just what I'm hearing. No, obviously no one within the Lakers told me that, but someone who covers the Lakers closely told me that's what they're hearing. What happened? What Mark do? Never coach again? I don't want to be that guy. Like I said, there's guys on YouTube all day ripping LeBron. They've got guys all over the place ripping Austin. I don't want to do that. I just wanted to put it out there because I think it's a little. I just think everyone should have the proper information. He did a lot of things that jeopardized his place in the league, and that's all I'm going to say. Don Nelson needs credit too. Then, right? Yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like the guy who probably the people who deserve a ton of credit up there is Bob Myers, man. Bob Myers did a heck of a job up there. That ownership group let him spend all the money and the things that he was able to pull off. Jerry West as a consultant up there. There's a lot of guys who don't get the proper credit for what they should get up there. Those guys got 4 championships, and there's a lot of people that contribute to that. So a lot. Good to have depth when injuries happen. I'm so glad. Yeah, that's been a problem. Like we're a team that's often injured, lack of depth, lack of shooters. And it's good to have shooters. It's good to have wings again. We didn't have wings. We didn't have shooters. We didn't have depth, and we didn't have health. Now we've got 3 of those 4. I'm just hoping the health becomes the 4th, and I hope we're have a healthy season for sure. It's annoying seeing all these fake Golden State fans come out of the woodwork once they become successful. Yeah, I mean that's a lot of franchises though. You got a lot of teams who you don't really hear from their base. They're out of it, and then all of a sudden they pop back up again. Get a lot of these guys now. Miami Heat is starting to develop a fan base now of kind of being like that. They didn't used to be because they never really won anything. They get to a finals a couple times, they run their mouth. So but then you got these player fans, right? Because all of a sudden it was like Nets this, Brooklyn Nets that. Then they lose Kyrie and KD. Now it's, you got the Suns fan. The Suns are that fan base has kind of been annoying too. Sacramento fans been gone a long time. They started popping up back last year. But it comes down to how the team is playing, how they're winning, and then these guys kind of come out of the woodwork. And then usually, and some of these teams, like the Clippers don't have a ton of Clipper fans. These are just anti-Laker and Bron fans uniting around Kawhi because they swear that he's the dynasty slayer, but he's not. And so that's what it is. So the Clipper fans, the real Clipper fans, really aren't annoying. They're actually kind of cool, but there's so few of them. But when you actually meet like a Clipper fan that's been a Clipper fan like their whole life, outside of Clipper Darrow because he's a weirdo, outside of that, they're actually pretty cool people. You know what I mean? Like they can talk basketball and they're actually pretty smart. But most of the people who rep the Clippers or cheer for the Clippers, they're not really Clipper fans. They're anti-Laker and LeBron fans, and they just kind of just planted their flag with the Clippers because they just swore that was going to be the ones that dethroned LeBron in LA, and it just massively failed. Big Baby, thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Big factuals. I think high chemistry and everybody will buy in and accept any role. They have to benefit the better of the team. That's absolutely imperative. I would always have a meeting with my team before any season or any tournament and make sure everyone got on the same page. There's nothing personal. It's about what's best for the team, including myself coaching. If I wasn't the right guy for the job and they felt I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do and they needed an assistant to step in or someone else, then they had the right to boot me out. Like, I'm dead serious. It was all accountability. It was all about what's best for the team, including myself. So I just feel when you have that communication and you set those types of standards and goals, that the team goes much further. And sometimes you can beat teams with more talent because your chemistry and your commitment to each other and then to commit to things bigger than yourself is great. And a lot of times you will win, you have to have talent, don't get me wrong, but you can sometimes have less talent than the other team, but have those qualities and still just destroy them. Facts. I'm a Clipper fan and just right. I'm an anti-Laker guy. No, I'm just saying, like Clipper, like the whole Clipper thing is just kind of funny and weird to me. I think I need to do an episode on that. Actually, have some real like Clipper fans on here, and so you guys can see. Like, I know a lot of Clipper fans because I live in LA. I know globally you don't know a lot, but I know people who are Clipper fans because they were growing up. They couldn't afford to go to Laker games, and they went to a lot of Clipper games, and they just stayed a fan. And these guys are real cool. They're very knowledgeable about the game. There's a lot of people in the industry and like in music and movie and film, all that are big Clipper fans. They just don't publicly put it out there. But there's a lot of people who rock with the Clippers. But most of the people you see online or anything like that, they're not real Clipper fans. Those people are like Kawhi fans or anti-Laker and Bron fans. I'm rampant purple and gold here in Texas unapologetically. There you go, Trent. Let me get up. Everything's bigger in Texas, including that Laker love coming from Trent. So bad. Spread that purple and gold all over that big ass state. Billy Crystal and Penny Marshall is them too. No one else. No, actually, no. I'm telling you, there is. It surprised you. There's a lot of them, but again, they're not. It's just, and they're not obnoxious. They're not rude. They don't talk trash about the Lakers. They don't bash them. They root for their team. But you can talk a lot of NBA with these guys, and they know a lot, like a lot. I coached. So I coached for what I would say coached for 10 years. I did it kind of like helping out after that when I took some time off, and then prior to like really hitting my stride and locking in on it. So I would say it was like really coaching, like really giving up and making sacrifices in my life to commit to coaching and leading these group of kids 10 years from the point where they were in second grade in elementary school up until their senior year in high school. I went the whole way. And as they grew and went up in leagues and divisions, I took them and just went up further. So we started. That's why that chemistry was incredible. And I had and I'm not going to name drop. I don't want to do that. But I had some names that you guys know. I've coached some guys that you guys know in all-star games and in Vegas and in nationals and things like that. And pre-workouts and summer workouts and getting people prepared and teaching them how to deal with agents and like stuff like that. So I've been around the game a long time. I've been around some star athletes and agents and coaches and, like I said, and a lot of media heads. So it was a great stretch of my life being able to see these kids grow. And like I said, I had girls on my team too. It was a men's league, boys league, but I had girls as my backup point guard, and they were killers too, certified killers. Hello, Laker fans came out of the woodwork for us when Braun came. I embraced with them open arms. Yeah, stay up. But the funny thing is, too, there's a lot of people who still don't embrace Braun on the Lakers, which is weird. They're big time Kobe guys, and they can't accept Braun because they feel it's a threat to Kobe. I don't subscribe to that. If Kobe accepted him, I'd be foolish not to accept him myself. But he's a Laker. I'm not gonna root against the best player on my team. You know what I mean? So he came here, he got us a chip, he got us AD, and hopefully he gets us one more. So, shout out to Braun for doing that. We can all respect real fans, just can't stand bandwagoners. Yeah, I mean that's what it is too. So it's like player fans, fanboys. It's a different. I don't. I've got guys that I'm a real fan of, but then they're not going to overshadow my Laker fanhood. But fanboys are still something I'm learning to adjust to. It's a new wave, and I don't see it going anywhere because these guys just can't stay loyal to anything. So they're motivated by hate and jealousy. A lot of these guys are jealous of these players. So you see a guy like Austin Reeves, and men are grown ass men are absolutely jealous of an undrafted guy who did well for him and his family and got his bag. And they're jealous of him and they're hating on him. And it's crazy. I'm not here to defend Austin. I don't know Austin from anyone. Austin probably wouldn't put water on me if I was on fire, right? I mean, it's not about that. I'm not defending Austin Reeves. I'm defending the narrative. It's just crazy to me. So if they've got the right to attack him or someone like him, then I've got the right to defend it. Point blank, period. Someone said knowledge. Switch now, bro. Last chance. Yeah, you about to get Blockafeller Records up in here. Knowledge, man. You can't be spewing no Clippers stuff up in here. Nah, I'm just kidding. I only know two Clippers fans. They're always talking trash about the Lakers. They're probably not long. I don't know if they're long-term Clipper fans, though, Chris. How long? How long you known them? How long they been Clipper fans? Were they down like Danny Manning and them? Were they down like pre Baron Davis, Elton Brand, pre Lob City? Like that's how you kind of tell the Flipper fans. I was kind of a Laker guy. Still got Cedric Ceballos 12-inch single from the 90s. Oh man, you talking B-balling Cedric Ceballos when he was rapping and I remember that, man. That boy called himself the franchise and then changed his name to Chise. But I remember his rapper name was B-balling Cedric Ceballos. I remember that. God, Cedric Ceballos. My God. No, I knew Knowledge was only clowning too. Empire, I think the season sleeper team is OKC. They're young and hella talented. Who do you think this season sleeper team will be? It's OKC. I've said that a couple times. OKC is my sleeper team. Although it's hard to call them a sleeper because I think they've been a sleeper the last 2 years. I think they make the playoffs this year. I could see them getting as high as a 6th seed, and I could see them upsetting someone in the first round if they get someone that the matchup favors. But they're good. They're going to continue to get better. They're positioned to make trades in season if they have to. And their long-term outlook is great. They got a ton of draft picks. They got great young talent. I think Chet has a real chance to win Rookie of the Year because I just don't know how much the Spurs are going to play Wemby and if he's going to stay healthy. So I think Chet has a great chance to win Rookie of the Year. He spent the entire year last year with the team, so he had a whole year of learning how to be a pro before he stepped foot on the court. I think he has an advantage there, and I think he's going to help this team. And like I said, they're absolutely for real, and they could scare someone come playoff time if they remain healthy. I feel like back in the 90s, fans are super loyal regardless. I guess time and people change. Social media era, man. People just jump and go around. They want to stay on what's just weird. Like, I don't know. This new age of in general, it's just a short attention span. Look at music. You don't see a third verse on any tracks anymore. No one really cares about album sales anymore. You just get like a single drop that is popping for like a day or two, and then people act like it never happened. So it's just everything is just there's so many things out there to grab your attention and keep your attention that it's hard to focus in and commit to any one thing anymore. So me, I try to stick to my fundamentals, music, obviously family, my work, and then obviously like music, sports, and movies, stuff like that. So even movies I haven't had really time to do, but music and sports, primarily basketball and NBA, like those are fundamentals and just absolute like mandatory stuff I stay on top of. Why do you think I can sit here and just talk basketball with you guys forever by myself, like just talking to myself and you guys in the chat? Is because I could do it with music too, you know what I mean? But basketball is such a passion of mine, and I'm loyal, I'm committed. Even though I'm a diehard Laker fan, I pay attention to everything around the league. I keep my ear to these NBA streets, man. I think they know who Oliver Candy is. They real Clipper fans. God, that was a horrible number 1 overall pick. Yeah, Oliver Candy, man. Jeez. Lakers fast break about to start. God bless everyone. Yeah, thanks, Searching the Story. Appreciate you. I might catch you guys over there. Throw it in the chat that if you can for me, let them know that I'm still on my stream and I'll try to pop in when I'm done. But appreciate you. Thank you very much, Search. True Tran, seems like social media era has made a lot of people player fans instead of team fans, and that's absolute true. Kenny Man, he ain't scared no one, huh? True. What it do, Jeff? What's up, everybody? Kurt, thank you for pulling up. Appreciate you as always. Your continued support does not go unnoticed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You think social media plays a role in people being disloyal? Absolutely, absolutely. What social media did is it makes grown ass people still act like they're in high school, and they want to be popular and they want to be known. They want to go viral, and it's just like you're supposed to outgrow that when you leave high school. And people just fell right back into the matrix and right back into the trap. People checking in with Kurt. There we go. Jeff, your channel going to blow up, man. From your mouth to God's ears. I really hope so, man. Knowledge, I'm trying to put in this work, trying to put in this time. But we're going to get these subs up, get these likes up, those watch hours up, and let's get these shared out there, man. Tell your peoples about me. I'm really trying to grow this channel, not just for myself. I'm trying to add more people to this channel. I'm trying to get, more shows. So even when I'm busy, if people who I feel can bring the same type of content, same type of energy, same type of dedication, then I'm just going to continue to add, people to this, the young Africans of the world. And me and him I've talked a couple of times about him potentially coming on, and hopefully he gets his own channel. Right. But I'm trying to really grow this stuff out. And, but I need support obviously to do that. I need people to stay tuned in, and hopefully, that will continue to happen. So, Knowledge, I greatly appreciate you for the support there and for saying that. Thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Get the likes up. Get the likes up. And DJ, if you're free right now, if you want to pull up, let me know. I'll shoot you the link. I'm curious. I haven't talked to you since this all happened with this new rule. I'm curious to see what you think. Yeah, appreciate you, Chris. If I can only be as good at this as you are with graphics, then we'll be on to something. Trust me. With both Chris Paul and Draymond on the same team, everybody resting their stars against Warriors. Golden State playing 4D chess. What's the over-under on technical fouls for that team? That's a good question. Sorry, my puppy's a terrorist and he's going crazy over here. 16, right? You get suspended at the 16 technical. I know Draymond always teeters on that. Anybody know how many P's Chris Paul has been getting? Off the top of my head, I don't know. I know he gets them. But yeah, they could definitely lead the league in technos because Chris Paul got little man syndrome and he's always ready to snap on some damn buddy. So they could definitely lead the league in techs for sure. Appreciate you. Liked, subbed, and shared, bro. I enjoy these types of conversations. We can all learn from everyone else. Yeah. Hey, thank you for that, Trent. And yeah, and then that's just what it is. It's not just this channel. Is it just about me? The chat is very knowledgeable. The people I try to bring on here are very knowledgeable. I will never have this be just like a bunch of people screaming and yelling at each other. If you come onto the panel and you can at least contribute to the conversation or add value, I will respectfully and politely have to move on to the next guest. But at the same time, I'm not going to be rude about it and just boot you out if you're not like, you know what I mean? Just don't be disrespectful. Don't be rude, and try to contribute to the conversation in a way that can add value. That's all I ask with this, because I would expect that for myself or anyone else I have that pulls up. One team that'll still be okay with this new rule is Denver. Murray isn't a star, so unless he becomes all-star this season, he can rest. Yeah, one thing that is interesting is if he does make an all-star, then the second half of the season, the rule does apply to him. So this is weird because it's one of those first ones where it actually the rule can change in season. And for those who don't follow me on, like I said, Twitter, X, whatever it's called, go and shoot me a follow at EmpireJeff_. I have like a multi-thread post on there today breaking down some of these things, and that was one of them. So I'm going to give your boy a follow at EmpireJeff_. Greatly appreciate you. As well as I don't shout this out enough. In the top left corner of up here, this my Linktree link right there. It's got pretty much links to everything I'm involved in on there. So if you hit up that link, anything I do or anything I'm affiliated with will be on there. And that's Linktree. www.linktr.ee/EmpireJeff. Check the boy out over there. Jamal is for an all-star. But yeah, I think he's going to make all-star this year. So I think that rule will impact him the second half of the season or the final whatever 30 games of the season, because he's absolutely an all-star. I don't, unless he's injured or something happens and he has a subpar year, but I really don't think he will. And even if he doesn't get voted in as a starter, the coaches will tend to respect his championship and will probably bring him in as a reserve. But I definitely see him making an all-star and potentially all-NBA team this year. I'm really high on Jamal Murray. I know I'm not supposed to be, but I like his game, and I think he's really, really good. And he was really good in the bubble, then was hurt a couple of years. He tore his ACL. He came back. Now he's healthy, and he's playing great again. Who do you think might be first-time all-stars this year? That's one, Murray, I would say. Let's see. That's a good question. Who has not made it that should? Off the top of my head, most all the ones have. Who has not made an all-star? That's a good question. But I would say Jamal Murray for sure. I think he makes one. The Kings have guys who have been all-stars. Maybe someone else in Memphis who steps up for while Ja's out. Maybe someone like a Desmond Bane. If he continues to progress, I can see something like that happening. Maybe. But outside of that, most of the guys have pretty much made it. Dang, that's just really tough. Right now, it wouldn't be Embiid. And I'm really torn between Giannis and Joker. I like both of them. I think they're both incredible. They both do different things. Damn. I'm gonna go Giannis. Just for the two-way aspect of it. But Joker is incredible, and you can't lose with either one. But I'm gonna go Giannis just because of preference. And like I said, I really value defense. Jamal made us respect him in the Western Conference Finals. He killed us. Yeah, you got to respect it. Like I don't just always hate someone because they beat us. Sometimes you got to tip your cap and respect the person and respect the work they put in. And he went down a long journey. With his injury, he came back, and like I said, like the basketball fan in me absolutely respects what he did. It's a good one. I don't know if he makes all-star though, but in the East doesn't have a lot of great teams, but there's all-star level players over there. So but that's one that could. Yeah, definitely. I could see that happening if he continues to improve. How do you feel about Darvin? Do you trust him with this much depth on the roster? Do you think he will maximize his players to their full potential? I think these discussions have been had within the Laker brass. I think that they've done things to help him. I think that they have tried to map these out, kind of like how the Dodgers do and baseball teams do to prepare for this. And then obviously you can adjust on the fly, but I think they're going to go into the season with a better plan as far as how to address this. But I got to tell you, that's the hardest thing to do as a coach is manage the minutes, manage the rotations. You got a team this deep, but I do think it will be better than last year. And I do think the Lakers have a plan that will help him to get off the ground and rolling with that. For me to be Joker, I also want to annoy Kendrick Perk. Yeah, Perk is crazy. You can't go wrong, man. You really can't. But Giannis is just, I really like Giannis. I really like Joker. I really like Embiid. Like if I had to, if I was in a draft and I ended up picking third, I would have no problem getting whoever was left over from that three. I really wouldn't. But Joker's incredible. Giannis is not done, man. I think Giannis is gonna remind people who he is this year. So Giannis is just when he is right and he's healthy and he doesn't have a coach just butchering things, that guy can literally get you to the finals like without any really other like mega star or superstar on the team. Like he's that good. I do trust him, but I will pull my hair out if he puts D'Lo, Reeves, Gabe lineup. Yeah, I don't think. Unless even that, unless the other team goes extremely small and you have to match up with it, even though still I'll probably maybe try to punish him with the big, but outside of that, he has no excuse to do that just for the hell of it. You're absolutely right about that. He needs to manage the lineup's better. Go to your strengths. You've got AD, you've got Christian Wood, you've got Braun, you've got Rui, you got Vanderbilt, you got length and size. You got to punish people with that. You got to make it real uncomfortable for them for try to finish at the rim. Even though Christian Wood is not known to be a good defender, when you're playing along the sides of AD and potentially a Jared Vanderbilt, and you're the third like rotation guy on that defense, and all of a sudden your defense will improve. And I'm telling you, he had a 1 point differential from Miles Turner's defensive rating last year, and he wasn't on a very good team. So I'm trying to say, like, Christian Wood may surprise some of you guys with his defense, and playing with the likes of Vanderbilt and AD, his defense is going to improve. It's just easier to build around Joker. No, again, I it's just preference, and I don't disagree with that take. I just think that Giannis is just so dominant, and Joker is too. I just don't know. Like I said, it's just Joker. Is Joker going to keep doing this? Like, he got his chip. He doesn't seem to necessarily love basketball that much. He can't wait to get out of the country as soon as he wins. Like, is Joker going to continue to give his all to stay in shape and all this stuff? I don't know. I really don't know. That's a legitimate concern for me. How do you feel about the Bucks? They got a new coach. That's remaining to be seen. I have them as a contender because of Giannis. I have 5 contenders. For me, in the East, it's just the Celtics and Bucks. In the West, it's Lakers, Denver, Suns. So I do have Milwaukee as of right now as a contender, but Holiday's got to be better. Middleton's got to be healthy. And, I like their pickup of Beasley for free. He will definitely most likely shoot better there than he did here in LA. But I do got to see how Adrian Griffin brings it. And I believe that they added Terry Stotts as an assistant coach. And that's an excellent pickup as an assistant. That's one thing I wish the Lakers would have done with Darvin, is gave him a solid and a solidified assistant, offensive-minded head coach who can help him with those rotations and help him with some of those offensive lapses. But they still really didn't do that. I believe they added Damari Carroll to the coaching staff, so he'll be another one for development. So you've got Chris Gent, you've got Darvin Ham, and now you got Damari Carroll. So the Lakers development staff is going to continue to be off the charts. I'm worried about the Suns. They have too much firepower, but they are old and defense is a question. But besides that, they're scary offensively. This I agree with. And I think that was their thought with bringing in Vogel, is to kind of come up with some defensive schemes that could work with the players that they have and the limitations that they have on defense. But we better hope that this isn't, something that's too big for him, and that the moment is too big for him. They've, he did take some of our assistants as far as his lead assistant. I actually don't even know who that really is. But Vogel has holes in his coaching, and there wasn't a ton of great coaches available this year. So they went with a guy who won a chip and a guy who's known for his defense to help coach a team that is not great on defense. So we'll see how Frank goes. Shout out to him, and I wish him the best. He got us a chip. I don't hate Frank, but he's on the other side now. Yes, sir. Go James. You tell him, man. Hit that like button. Like and subscribe. Help your boy out. Suns lacking up depth. Crazy scoring talent, though. Yeah. There's going to be times where they've got to go 7 to 8 deep maximum. And sometimes their offense will be able to carry them. And in the playoffs, KD looked a little to be dragging in the early part of that Clipper series. He looked gassed. He didn't look to be in shape. So if he has any type of extended missed time and it goes into the playoffs again, lot looking to be in peak NBA shape. And although the Clippers, had no Paul George, had no Kawhi, like they played them a lot tougher than they should have, and that series was more competitive than it should have been. So the Suns got some stuff they got to figure out for sure. We do match up well with any team. If this season fails, knock on wood, is Darvin going to be on the hot seat, fired even with his contract? No, just for the simple fact. Stars want to play for Darvin Ham. I'm telling you that right now. Giannis is very intrigued for playing with Coach Ham. He was upset when they let him get away. Bobby Portis has spoke up on this. There are multiple players around the league who have an eye on the Lakers, not just because it's LA, but because they really like Darvin Ham. He's respected around the league. Darvin Ham got fired. He'd have a job tomorrow, like without a shadow of a doubt. So Darvin Ham, I think not me, I defended him, but I think a lot of people were a little too hard on him last year. He was a rookie coach. He had to adjust to some things. I know he's been in the league forever, but when it's your time behind the wheel, it's different than being in the passenger seat. And you gotta manage the team now, and you're responsible for a lot of things. he had to go through that. And not only was he a rookie coach, but he was a rookie coach with the Lakers and LeBron. That's a lot to take in. I think all things considered, he did a decent job and he got better as the season went on. Do you think Bucks should move on from Middleton? I think Giannis is trying to get the new owners to start a rebuild. Where would he fit? I don't know if they really want to rebuild, but a retool. And yeah, I think they signed him to not lose him for nothing. But I think if things don't start going, like if things get out of line kind of early, I could see them, especially with Giannis's comments. You can kind of see he's kind of got his foot on their neck right now. He's continuously speaking up, including today, about he will leave if he does not feel he can win there. So I could tell you this right now, 2 years from now, when he's a free agent, that team will not cut it. Drew Holiday's got a player option for next season, so he can opt out and leave. So it's some scary and serious times in Milwaukee. They've got to get this figured out. He definitely is pressing for kind of a retool and restructure and to get more talent in there. Milwaukee is not a free agent destination. They'll have to be via trade. And their luxury tax situation is bad. Their cap situation is bad. And they don't have a lot of avenues to improve this team, which is why they had to resign everybody. There's not enough ball for Phoenix offense. And that's true. That is true. But even though there's not enough balls, if it's a playoff game or a clutch situation, you've got KD, Book, and Beal. So those are three killers who can burn you in end of game situations. Why is Darvin beloved in this league? Jeff was wondering. He's just loved because he treats the players well. He puts in the work. He's great at developmental. Like he's worked with a lot of these guys when they were coming up when they were younger. He's just like Phil Handy is. Phil Handy is really loved around the league. These guys put in time in the offseason on a lot of these star players, even before they entered the league. So a lot of these guys built relationships with him and built trust in him. And they like the way he leads men, the way he talks to men. They just like the way he is. He's a cool dude. And, he doesn't scream and belittle his players. He backs them up in the media. There's a lot of things about Darvin the players like that. You have a lot of coaches out there that are very good, but they're great coaches, but their players can't stand them. Like the Tom Thibodeaus of the world. There's not a lot of guys who like playing for him. He's one of the best defensive basketball minds you will ever see, but there's a ton of guys who do not like playing for him. Same with Popovich. They respect him, they love him, but there were guys that just couldn't deal with it. So, Darvin Ham has got really the hard part figured out, which is getting the star players to buy in and trust you. The rest he can learn and get better at. But I think the hardest part he's got down. Milwaukee is getting old when it comes to pieces around Giannis. Yeah, facts, Eric. And that's what I'm saying. They're going to have to figure that out soon because he's putting them on notice like ASAP. Big Heart Sports, what's good, my guy? What's up with you? Appreciate you pulling up and thank you for the support. Make sure to go hit up Big R Sports, man. He got fire content over there. He's a good dude. Great show. Keep meaning to try to get over there and jump in when he's having his shows. I missed your last live, Art. I apologize. I'll definitely catch the next one. And typically, whenever you're live, I seem to be in places where it's loud and I can't pull up. But it's definitely on my YouTube bucket list to pull up to Big Art Sports and chop it up with you, brother. Great show over there. Great content. And I appreciate your support. Thank you. Make sure y'all shoot him a sub if you haven't already, but more than likely you have. He's a big dog. I'm just a little puppy on the block. So more than likely you guys are definitely already subscribed to him. But shout out to Big Art Sports, man. Very, very, very knowledgeable man. Lakers are more balanced than Phoenix. I'm more worried about Denver, to be honest. Yeah, they are balanced, absolutely. But I'm telling you, they're killers. Those three guys can be an absolute problem if they go on a heater. But Denver, yeah. Denver, I would put my level of concern would be Denver 1, Phoenix 2. So I agree with you there. The rule change definitely benefits the Lakers and LeBron, but other teams are looking at this and might gamble with that fine to preserve the players. What do you think? Yeah, that's what I was touching on. That's definitely true. I think that is the case. I think teams like Phoenix, Golden State, and the Clippers might just feel like they did. Same with the second apron and the tax. They're like, we're throwing money at the problem already. We might as well just double down. Why risk these guys getting hurt? We'll just pay for it. And the league at the end of the day doesn't matter because they're making their money as well. So it's wins for both sides. Appreciate you. But so like I was saying, it was the league is doing this for the money because they're trying to get top dollar from these TV providers. The TV providers are balking at the league because they're like, look, we're paying you top dollar and you're not putting your top product on the court. We're not putting it on the TV. Like our fans are not watching it. So, and then you got sponsors who are sponsoring these teams, and then the players aren't playing in the games they're selling tickets to. So the league has a problem. To be honest with you, it's a shame that this even has to be done. It's a shame that this rule has to even come up. Like the fact that they have to put a rule in to force players to play a game that they've loved their whole lives, that they're paid multi-million dollars to do. That's an embarrassment. I don't know any other league that has to deal with that. So it's an embarrassment that this even has to come out in the first place, and this even has to be a rule that gets implemented in the first place. So outside of that, it's a money grab. So they're sitting back, and the league knows, like I said, if you mess around and end up with another like Miami Denver finals, like that's disastrous for for TV ratings. So that's why you have the in-season tournament. That's why you have this money. This is all a money revenue grab for the league to recoup money that they will potentially lose in the finals, because this new CBA over here is encouraging parity and competitive balance. And with competitive balance, you can end up with teams that nobody cares about in the finals, and you lose viewership. So the league has to get creative and figure out how to generate more revenue to offset that loss. And I get it. I totally get it. Season awards prediction. Oh man, I can't do that yet. I will say, I really believe that AD is going to come for every award possible. I think he's determined to try to win Defensive Player of the Year, All NBA, All NBA defense, and be in MVP considerations. I think he's really trying to come for everything. I think he's motivated. I've never seen him work this hard in the offseason. The Lakers are doing a good job of showing these guys progress in their development and conditioning and strength gaining. And they all look great. They all look like they've been putting in steady work, which leads me to believe there's already some chemistry developed. So as far as awards go, like that's tough because I don't know who's going to be healthy. I don't know who gets traded throughout the league. Those are really hard to predict, but I would say the usual suspects, the Giannis's, the Jokers. I think AD is going to really step up this year. Those type of guys, I think, will kind of still be in the same type of conversation. NBA wants a giant TV deal when this one expires. They absolutely do, and they absolutely should. And what they're doing is designed and built around ensuring that they get that. They're going to get it. They're just providing some peace of mind to the people who are cutting the checks. That's all it really is. You got these network executives who have some concerns and are trying to have the league, level those concerns some. And this is the league doing it with the 65 game rule and now this player participation rule. Reeves for most improved player feasible. Absolutely. If Reeves just plays anywhere near where he was on the Olympics and what he did in the Western Conference Finals, then not only is he in the running for it, he's the leader for it. Like he's the top candidate for it. He's the favorite for it, in my opinion. Just his leap from year one to year two, and what we saw in the Olympics and the end of last season. If he continues to ascend, then he'll absolutely be in the running for that award. Damn shame. Remember when jerseys didn't have sponsors on them, just the manufacturer? Cash is king. Yeah. And you're seeing it in pretty much every sport. So cash is and always will be king. And you also got to find ways to continue to monetize your league. And that's what they're doing. That's what they got to do. And, you got to continue to make money. Salaries at an all-time high across the board. And they've got to figure out with inflation, all that, how to continue to generate revenue without just continuing to add it out of the pockets of the fans. Will Lonnie have a better season now with the Nets? Did Darvin set himself short for benching him? I hope so. Lonnie has a good year. I'm rooting for him. I want him to have a great year and go into free agency next summer and get a long-term deal. I really hope so for him. Lonnie Lonnie had a role and he was playing well. Then he got hurt. He was out for a while. And then Austin kind of started to take off and take over. They made the trade and he kind of just found himself lost in the shuffle. But shout out to him. He stayed ready, he stayed prepared, and he came out. And we probably don't beat Golden State without him in that fourth quarter that he had. So shout out to Lonnie Walker, man. Best of luck in Brooklyn. And I wish him well. And I hope he gets a bag next summer. I feel like it's his award to lose. You talk about Austin and MIP. Yeah, I think so. I agree. Like I said, I know a lot of people are using his name for clickbait right now and just kind of coming out the woodwork, finding reasons to kind of hate on him because he's done so many times things that they couldn't. And so they're just waiting in the woodwork. But I get it. People got channels to build and people got to drive an audience. I get it. Yep. Remember when Dodger Stadium had no sponsors on outfield walls? Yep. And get this, Chris, man, they're about to probably in the next year or two, it won't be Dodger Stadium no more. There will be a sponsor, and that's going to be crazy. You think we have a hard time calling Staples Crypto.com Arena? No one will ever call Dodger Stadium anything other than Dodger Stadium ever. I don't care. I don't care what it's called. It's Dodger Stadium. Like, and the fact that that's even gonna potentially happen is crazy to me. But it's gonna happen, and it's gonna happen within a year or two. So that's just a trip to me. It just sounds so weird even saying that out loud. But yeah. So let's see what happens with these rules. Let's see what happens with these players. Let's see what happens when it comes to trades and how NBA teams navigate around this rule. And are they gonna refrain from making trades for people who are off injured? Are they, gonna keep the guys that are off and off injured and want rest? Like it could really, change how rosters are shaped. Farmer John Arena, Dodger Stadium. Yeah, they don't even have Farmer John hot dogs there anymore, Chris. I don't know where they got some like off-brand stuff, but they still call them Dodger dogs. It's crazy. It's not the same. Shout out to Farmer John. Why would Dodger Stadium consider changing their stadium name? Because again, money. And these contracts are getting inflated. They're paying Mookie Betts a ton of money, Freddie Freeman a ton of money, probably gonna pay Ohtani a ton of money. They got to do what they got to do to put that competitive team on the field, man. It's like trying to call Magic Irvin. It's not gonna. Yeah, I know it's tough. It's tough for real. NBA deal is now $24 billion 10 years. Yep, they want $75 billion for 10 years. When the next deal comes up in 2025, yep, and they'll probably get it, or at least somewhere near that. But as long as they can assure these networks that their players will play, they have to assure them. And if they do, and they assure them that their players will play, then they're going to get a monster deal. And I think the NBA understands that this could be the last deal where it continues to incline instead of decline. Who knows where the next streaming, what TV will be like 10 years from now. And they've got to get every cent they can out of this deal, because TV will probably pay less the next time around, and it'll probably be something else. So I get why they're doing it, and I also get why the TV is doing it, because they've got concerns, because 5 years from now, TV could be different, and the whole back end of this contract could be a loser for these networks. Dodger Stadium is always Dodger Stadium. Chavez Ravine, that's a fact. Like I said, I don't care what they call it. It will always be Dodger Dog Stadium. It'll always be Dodger Stadium, man. Like, it just has to be. There's no way it can be anything else. It's too rich in tradition and history, and that's just what it's going to be. Like, I'll never call it anything else. Like, I don't care if they switch it to. I'll never call it anything else. But yeah, guys, that's about it for me tonight. I'm going to thank y'all for pulling up. Appreciate the support. This was part 2 of the video. I did the first one, kind of different day and different time than I usually do. So I wanted to do a follow-up one now that the actual rule became official. And I just want to say, thank you to all y'all for pulling up. And yeah, salary cap's going to be nuts come 2026 for sure. But I want to thank y'all for pulling up and the continued support. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Tell your friends about me. Tell your friends about the channel. Tell the friends about our community. We're growing this out, and I really, really, really want to continue to grow this. So I thank y'all very much for your continued support. Yeah, I get you, Chris. And thank you, Twitter. I appreciate you. But that'll be it for now. Like I said, if you're on Twitter, you can find me at EmpireJeff_ and right here on YouTube at EmpireJeffTV. And pretty much everywhere else that I'm at, you can find me on my Linktree link up here at the top left corner of the screen. And thank y'all. This channel would not be, you too, Stay. I appreciate you. This channel would not be the same without you guys. Thanks for pulling up, Art. I appreciate you for the support. I'll catch you on your next show for sure. And just go ahead and, like I said, make sure to like and subscribe. I appreciate y'all. And I will catch you guys on the next one. You guys could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I appreciate that. You guys have a good one.